outside the Bank of England for us can make a lot more sense of it, I'm sure, than I can, Ed. Just looking at the split, the majority wanted to cut it. A couple, though, voting to keep it unchanged.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the detail of it is a little bit confusing, but I mean, the big picture is relatively clear. Okay, so most people thought the bank was going to cut interest rates this time around, and they have done that, down from 4.5% to 4.25%, so a quarter point cut. That difference on the committee reflects the fact that there's quite a lot of opinions here. So basically, these rates are decided by 9 people on the Monetary Policy Committee, and whoever has the majority basically decides what's going to happen to interest rates. And this time around, it so happens there were 2 members on the committee who wanted to cut them by more, so down to 4%, a half-point cut. And there were 2 members who didn't want to cut them at all. So you have what's, you know, a 3-way split. In the end, there are 5 people who said we want them down by a quarter point. But what does that underline? It underlines the fact that there is a lot of uncertainty right now, and that comes back to the big economic story of the moment, trade and tariffs. And perhaps the most striking thing about the set of forecasts we got from the Bank of England alongside all of the decisions was that they've given their first verdict on what they think the impact of those tariffs is going to be for the UK economy. And actually, it's surprisingly not quite as serious as a lot of people had expected. It's not going to push the UK into recession. It does mean a slightly weaker economy. It does mean slightly lower inflation. But it doesn't necessarily mean the kind of crushing impact a lot of people had feared. Of course, it's worth saying all of this comes before the news that we are expecting to get confirmation of just in a few hours, which is that the UK has sealed a trade deal with the US. It comes before that. But nonetheless, the big picture actually the MPC has been looking at, the Monetary Policy Committee, the Bank of England, is the global picture. And their concern is globally, whatever happens to UK trade, whether there's a trade deal, globally, when you have these tariffs, they can have a big impact on economic growth and on inflation. But yeah, the big picture, interest rates down from 4.5% to 4.25%. And there are expectations there might be more cuts to come in the coming months.